I've made quite a few no-sew junk journals over the years, and so I wanted to show you a few of the ones that I have created because during November I'm going to be hosting the No-Sew November Challenge, which I did host last year and I was on the fence about bringing it back, but I just decided that I love no-sew journals too much. Like, the format is so fun to work in, it's so quick and easy to do. I've put together a prompt list. Now, this is just a suggestion of creative prompts that you can use if you're feeling a little bit stuck or you want some inspiration for working within your no-sew journal itself. I'll leave a link down below where you can download these just to print them off if you want to print them off for your journal and to reference them as we go throughout the month. You can follow them as a regular daily challenge. You can just pick and choose. There's no rules or anything. I want this just to be a really relaxed month where we can play within our no-sew junk journals. So the journal that I am going to be working in for this is actually this mini journal. I think this might be the smallest one that I've ever made to work in. As a junk journal, as an art journal, obviously, because I mean, you could write in this, but it is very small, even by my standards of working in smaller journals. So for example, like this one here that I did, oh, and that journal's on the move. I knew that was going to happen. We'll just leave that in. That's the joy of working with a no-sew journal, is that obviously because it doesn't have the traditional binding, they will just kind of do as they please almost. So yeah, as I was saying, I do tend to prefer a smaller art journal. So this is one that I did for a Junk Journal July a few years ago. So as you can see, the accordion concertina style is basically just one big long strip. I typically do these with scrap papers, and then it becomes its own little journal that you can pop a closure on. So it's super easy if you're a beginner or you've not got a lot of like bookbinding experience, or you just want something really easy and accessible to make. You don't need any like fancy tools or supplies to get started with it, and you can just create from what you already have. So this is one, like I said, I've done for some previous prompts, and I will leave links down below to some tutorials if you want to follow along with this style journal. And the one that I am going to be using here, I also did a video showing you how I made this. The fun thing about this one is that it's the same style, the same concept of an accordion style journal, like the concertina fold, where you just have this sort of zigzag, and obviously you can work on the front and the back of a journal as well, which is super fun. But this one I just made with some little envelopes, so just by using the flaps of the envelopes as the way to join them, and so it just creates this really fun journal, which means you also have some pockets here. So let me just grab a tag just to show you. So it also comes with some built-in pockets, so it's a really easy way to get started with a journal, especially if you are someone that likes to use tags and things within your journal pages. Really customizable as well to any supplies that you have, any shape or size that you want to make the journal as well. So I highly recommend making your own no-sew junk journal. It's just so fun. So the ones that I have here that I've worked in previously, the first journal that I wanted to show you is actually the one that I created last year for the No-Sew November prompts. And I did a slightly different format where I actually split the prompts into separate weeks. And not only did I make one journal like this, which is a no-sew journal with just using a book cover, but I also made little mini journals as well. So you can see this here. The front page was actually a paper bag that I used to start the pages off, and I tucked inside a little zine, so just like a mini journal that I'd made with the prompts as well. So it kind of folded out into its own little piece here. So it was just another fun way to work with some different like shapes and sizes and dimensions in terms of the prompts as well. So I made this one. There was a tag journal, which I think I've actually tucked into a separate journal, helpfully. One of the other little mini journals that I did was also with envelopes as well, but the pockets were at the top here, so I just added some little decorative tags into this, and so I used some masking tape just to join the envelopes together and create this little mini journal. So yeah, it's such a flexible format in terms of how you can put them together, and I mean, it's perfect if you've got loads of scrap papers and you want to do some stash busting in terms of using up what you already have. Then this is the perfect way to do it, because you can use those smaller pieces to create patchwork effect pages when you are making these concertina style journals. So what I always do is basically just grab a glue stick and some washi tape, maybe some masking tape, and you can kind of see how I've basically just combined lots of different papers and sort of Frankensteined them together to create one long strip that I can use as a journal page. And it's really fun because you can also work like across a few different pages as well. You're not restricted in terms of just having, you know, a double page spread like this, for example. I mean, you can obviously work like that if you want to. So you can see here, this page definitely works in terms of being just a double page spread here, but when you open it up, as you can see here, to the full length, you can see the way that you can start working on multiple pages at once and sort of playing around with different compositions, and it just gives you a lot more flexibility in the different things that you can add to your journals. So this one that I have that fell down before, this is one of the chunkiest ones that I've got. This was a junk journal July 2021, and yeah, it's super chunky. I think this might have been one of the earliest ones that I actually made and put together. So I just used some scrapbook paper for the cover, and then you can see how I worked on it as the double page spreads, but then it was really fun to also play around with having the pages sort of merging into one another. I was doing a lot of coffee dyeing, and I mean, I really loved the neutrals here, for sure. There was a lot of tea staining and just adding bits and pieces and washi taping in some like tip-ins, so just when you add smaller pages into the journal, so you're technically not doing any sewing, but you're adding in pages, and you can just see how that adds another layer of interest to your journals. And I was doing like pockets and all sorts of things, so if you want to see like a detailed like flip through and walk through of these journals, then I will leave those links down below. This page, I think I've said it before, is probably one of my favorites just in terms of everything that's going on there, and I really love the way that it turned out, especially with having this little embellishment here with some lace and just all the bits and pieces. So yeah, I really encourage you, if you haven't tried a no-sew journal before, then I'm sorry, but you will get addicted to the no-sew journals and you will want to make loads of them. This one here, that was a junk journal July as well. I actually rounded the corners, as you can see, so it creates a little bit of a different look. And so I was trying different layouts in terms of having an envelope added to where one of the pages folds here, so that it created a pocket on this side, and then I just used the fold of the envelope here as a little extra space to add some writing. And I really liked the way that I didn't have to interrupt this page in order to add this onto it. And then because it's a double-sided format, it was really fun to play around with adding cutouts and printing on vellum and just trying different techniques as well. So I think this might be one of my favorites in terms of the no-sew journals that I have created. Like I said, I will leave a link down below if you want to download and print off the prompt list for your journal. What I've decided to do is I actually printed out the prompt list onto some sticker paper. Now, I had to do this twice because I got my measurements wrong, of course. And what I wanted to do was add this onto a little tag so that I could include it within the front cover of my journal and just have it as reference for when I'm creating for the challenge. So I know I'm going to need to trim down the tag here just because I have the allowance for the closure that I have here. So I'm just going to sort of roughly guess how much I need to cut off from this. I'm going to go for around about there, I think should be okay. So that makes my tag just about the right size, and I've got obviously the string that I've got attached here to use as a way of getting the tag back out from the pocket. And I printed these onto sticker paper just to make it really quick and easy for me to be able to add this to the tag. So I'm thinking I might add maybe a little bit of something underneath. I know you're not going to see most of it, but I can't resist adding a little bit of collage. So I'm just going to grab some paper scraps that I have here. Like I said, this is going to be great if you've got loads of different scrap papers that you want to use up. So definitely grab those and gather them ready for working in your No Sew November journal. So I'd love to know in the comments what journal you are going to be using for this. Obviously you don't have to make a new journal, you can also use one that you've already got on the go as well, but I'd love to know what you have decided to choose for this. So I'm just going to add some of these papers to the edge of my tag just because that's where they're going to be able to peek out on the sides from where I have added the prompt list. I'm also going to just add a little pop of pink as well, just for some colour on this, because obviously it's very neutral, but like I said, I am sticking to just the edges of this because I know that's where this is going to be the most visible. And maybe I might even add in a little bit of washi tape perhaps to this sort of, I don't know what you'd call this, it's like a little scrap collage but just on the edges of the tag. So I'm just going to grab some of my washi tapes. This one I love, it is an MT washi tape that I've had for years, and I also think some grid washi tape will look really nice as well, just for some extra patterns. I'm just going to overlap it in sections there. Okay, so there is my little scrap tag here for the edges, and then I'm just going to add on the prompt list that I have printed off here. Okay, and there is my little tag with the prompts on either side, and I'm going to just leave, I think, the top of it like that. So they are a little bit small, obviously it's the right size for this journal. Now I've realised I just went silent because I was concentrating quite a bit just now on executing one of my daft ideas that would have been way easier to do before this journal was bound. However, I just had the brainwave as I added the tag into the journal that wouldn't it actually be fun if this particular pocket was a little bit translucent, a little bit see-through. And so I just grabbed my craft knife and I am very gently attempting to cut out just a little section here to create a window so that I can see through and see the prompts that are on the tag. Now I've made a little bit of a mess of this, but let's see if I can get this out without ripping the envelope here and ruining the journal before I've even started it. So talk about a true craft with me. There we go. Okay, I think I've done all right there. Okay, I think I've done okay. There we go. Now let's see potentially how this would look. And I think I'm going to try and, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get something in there just to, oh look, see? Oh, how perfect is that? It might struggle a little bit with, oh no, there we go. There we go. Do we see the vision? Do we see the vision? The idea is that you can still see the prompts. You kind of can't see the scrappiness of the tag, but that's, you know, the tag can still come out to see those bits. But the actual, I mean, maybe it would have been easier if I'd have just taken off this whole front part and replaced it. But I liked the idea of a window. I don't know. Should I have taken this whole thing off? Maybe just cut like here, here, and here, and then just replaced it with some tissue paper, some tracing paper. Maybe that would have been easier. I kind of just like the idea of a little window though. It's in keeping with the rest of the journal then. And I could always add something over the top of this, like something as the window itself. Or maybe I should have it as the full, like just commit to this being a full transparent layer, which would make it way easier in terms of attaching it anyway. I don't know. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I didn't intend to start hacking away at the journal page. I just wanted to show you the prompts, and here we are doing a full-on little craft project on the front of this journal cover. But anyway, those are the prompts. Let me know if you're joining in. Let me know what journal you're going to make. I hope you enjoy joining me for this No Sew November, and I will show you the process of putting these pages together. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.